Hi, everyone, and it's such a delight tonight to introduce someone who has become not just a business partner, but a dear, dear friend, Joe Morton. And before Joe founded XANGO, he was actually quite successful in international business and global expansions for several other network marketing companies. And his footprint is definitely in direct sales, especially since he grew up in a family who didn't know anything else but the direct sales world. And it was while living in Southeast Asia that Joe actually discovered the mangosteen fruit and became inspired to contact his dear friends to launch this incredible record-breaking company, XANGO, and always bringing to us not good products, but great products, the best of the best that you know are unique and most often category creators. And during this career of driving our company to a global position, I mean, here we are, it's the beginning of 2012, and this young company that's not even 10 years old is already in 41 countries. But according to someone at corporate, they told me we're actually pre-registered in over 100 countries. So just imagine being on the ground floor of where we're going to be 10, 20, 30, 40 years from today. Joe is quite an athlete, a 6-time Ironman competitor, and recently was named as Utah's fittest executive. And without further ado, I would love Joe to share with us all about our subject tonight with the limitless opportunity that we have with our products. So over to you, Joe.
Well, Sandy, thank you so much. That was so kind of you to introduce me tonight, and that was such a kind introduction. Right back at you, Sandy. It's been such a pleasure to work with you and your wonderful husband. And Collie, thank you for inviting me on the call tonight. I've had an opportunity to work with you, wow, for close to 10 years now. And I'll never forget when I first met you, Sandy, and when you came into our little wee office. I don't even think we lasted there for even a month. And then we expanded into different offices. Seems like we've constantly been moving ever since. But it's a pleasure to be here and to be on this call tonight. I am excited about our products, and I appreciate you bringing up about the different products that we have. You know, we started with XANGO, and for those, maybe there's some listening for the first time that are trying to figure out maybe what products we have, what we started with. Sandy, where would you like me to start? I would like to ask you, and I'll just kind of follow your lead on this. There's so many wonderful products that we can talk about.
Yeah, and I think you can take the lead there, because many people who are new to XANGO may have thought, well, the company's 10 years old, it will be 10 years old in November, but they don't realize that for the first 4 or 5 years, we broke every record, I think, in the world with one singular product. But since then, we have created many categories. So I want them to get the sense that this is indeed an unlimited or limitless possibility for those who are looking to earn income. So you talk about whatever you think you want to talk about. And, of course, we're going to bring up the newest category, which is across weight management and weight loss.
Sure. Okay, great. Wonderful. You know, we started, as Sandy indicated, for the first 4 or 5 years with just one product, and it's XANGO. And it's centered around the mangosteen fruit, which, you know, for us to have been drinking XANGO for 10 years now and applying it topically for the last probably 5 years in the form of Glimpse and Junie, which is our body care line of mangosteen for the skin. We might think, oh, this is still a cool story, but we've heard it for 10 years. But you have to understand, folks, there are people, possibly even on this call, who have never even heard of mangosteen. The vast majority of people have never heard of mangosteen. And it is truly classified as a superfruit. Why? Because of all the wonderful ingredients that are found therein. We talk about mostly that the science, people had been using the mangosteen for hundreds and hundreds of years in all these different cultures, part of Thai traditional medicine, part of Ayurvedic medicine in India, part of Chinese traditional medicine. I mean, this is not a small fruit here. We're talking a superfruit. What scientists finally linked it mostly to was a relatively new class of compounds called xanthones. But what's interesting, why it's referred to it as a superfruit, because you have polysaccharides in there, which is the story of aloe vera, folks. It's a huge story. And one of the reasons why we've mentioned a lot of times that this is the next aloe vera. It's bigger than aloe vera. Why? Because aloe vera's story is polysaccharides, which is amazing, wonderful, not to downplay it at all. But mangosteen contains the polysaccharides and the proanthocyanidins that are found in. That's the story of pine bark extract and grapeseed extract, and that's big deal. Big deal. And then you've got catechins, which is the story of green tea. Green tea, the potent antioxidant powerhouse behind green tea, is catechins. This is rich, chucked full, rich of catechins, the mangosteen fruit. Equivalent of as much as even 2 cups of green tea when it comes to catechins for 1 ounce of XANGO. Powerful. And then, of course, the xanthones, which is what most scientists have linked the reason why people have been using it for hundreds and hundreds of years and revered it as such a powerful fruit. So we have a superfruit on our hands here, and that's why it's so powerful, not just for the first 5 years, but continue to be so. And people continue to lead their business with XANGO alone. And then we expanded into mangosteen for the skin. Absolute must. It was a natural. People had also been using it, not just internally, but externally for hundreds and hundreds of years, putting it as a poultice on their skin. Absolute natural that it would come to the skin. In fact, Aaron and Gordon and Beverly were just in Kiev. There were about 2,500 people at an event there. We had people from Russia, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, and several countries within Europe. And we officially launched the Genie line, mangosteen for the full body. Amazing. And they love it over there. But then recently, now we've launched all these other products, Sandy. I mean, wonderful products like our 365, which means taking vitamins and minerals every day of the year, 365 days of the year, with an immune booster in it. Amazing, not just for adults, but we have an incredible tasting, and I mean incredible tasting, children's chewable as well. So in fact, it tastes so good that I know a lot of adults that take that for their vitamins and minerals and their immune booster and their essential fatty acids, which is important for kids too. So we have 3 combined all in one go for children. My kids love it. They take it to school and it's a hit. All their friends want a little extra in their lunch bags. I love it. Very cool. Very flattering. But most recently, and we could go on forever about the products that we have, and we're very limited with time here, Sandy, so I'll jump right to the most recent launch that we have, and I'll tell you, this is just, all my products get my blood pumping, but this one extra, because it's our solution for weight management, which is called Faveo. It comes from the Latin root, which means the will to move forward. Weight management is such a complicated where do you start kind of an idea, words. Weight management, well, where do you start? Do you start with this program? Do you start with this diet? Do you start with this supplements? Do you start with this group of supplements? Do you start with this exercise program or this exercise program or this one or this social network? Or how do you do it? Where do you even start nowadays? Most people are on this yo-yo kind of a diet. It's up and down, it's up and down, it's up and try this, try this, try this. And we got sick of it. And we listened to people and how tired they were of just this yo-yo effect. And so we say Faveo, it's where the yo-yo stops here. Let me tell you folks, if you're listening right now for the first time, maybe you're trying to figure out what this Faveo thing is, It is absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. In the words of, I was just doing a meeting, in fact, over the weekend in Virginia, Washington, D.C. area, and I loved it. There was a teacher who stood up, and a health teacher actually, and she had explained that she had never endorsed and never really tried a weight management system, a diet, anything out there. Never did. Out of all her years, she's 70 years old, retired now, and said, I've never endorsed anything until FAVEO. Why? Because they're never complete. FAVEO is complete. It offers it all. It offers the supplements that are absolutely necessary to lead with and to supplement our bodies from a weight management perspective, appetite suppressing perspective, and the proteins that we need and so forth, and I'll get into that in a minute. But we also offer food advice, how to eat food. What is a protein, what is a carbohydrate, and what is a fat, and why are they so important that we take these in on a daily basis and strategically throughout the day. We get into exercise and just getting active, basically getting active, and then such a key element, which is networking, being around people, being with people and helping each other become accountable. There are entire programs centered around just that, helping each other accomplish their goals in weight management. And so I'm so excited about this, folks. I was just in a meeting in, as I mentioned, in Virginia and Washington, D.C. And we had a group of people come up after I talked about the products. And we had them just share how much pounds they lost, how much time it was that they'd been taking it. We only launched this a couple months ago, folks. And how many inches. I kept track of the pounds lost, and I don't remember how many people came up. It was about 12 people or so up to the front. We were somewhere around 330 pounds weight loss. I thought, wow, that's incredible. I mean, this is pretty remarkable for 12 people at the front of the room, or 13, whatever it was. And then a hand goes up and says, well, I lost 43 pounds. And then another hand, I lost 53 pounds. And then I lost 70 pounds. One person 70 pounds, 10 pounds, 5 pounds, all across the board. I couldn't keep up with it all. By the time I finally said, oh, whoa, I've lost track. We were over 634 pounds, I think it was, 634.5 pounds. I finally just called off. I wasn't even counting the inches. It was incredible. And to feel the emotion, I mean, you know what I'm talking about, folks, that when you're listening to this call. This is a highly emotional thing. It's what we want. It's how we want to look again, possibly how we want to feel, possibly both. Possibly it's an absolute lifestyle change that we must have for our health, because as we all know, so much is linked to our weight. And as a nation, let's face it, we're sick. This is something we need to address. So we address the health, and then also just address how we look and feel. And so I'm absolutely thrilled about this. We approach it with, we lead with 4 different products. We lead with a cleanse. Starts with a cleanse, and that's taken at night. Incredible. We talk about nutritionally supporting the cleansing of different organs of the body, from liver to gallbladder, and then of course the intestinal tract. We have a fiber that we take every morning. It's what I recommend at least. I'll tell you how I start my day. I start my day with one of our protein shakes. You have a choice between a whey-based protein or a fully plant-based protein that does not include soy. It's rice, pea, and chia seeds. Phenomenal. It tastes great. I start my day off, and this is how the FAVEO day starts. A protein shake mixed with different carbohydrates that you would add to it, and whatever you'd like. Your choice. So many options in the book that we provide. Everything from frozen fruits to fresh fruits to spinach there's so many options, and I love it. It's a great way to start. I change it up every time. In fact, tonight I was in a bit of a hurry, racing between. I have to be on the call and then another call a little later. My night was a really, really rich protein shake. A couple scoops of protein. I put spinach in there. I put a full orange, a full apple. I had almond milk had really, really boosted this thing up. And folks, I'm just flying high right now. I can't tell you, I just feel so good. But that's how we start our day, and we add the fiber in there as well. See, one thing that people don't realize, we always know, okay, protein, we need protein, and protein shakes are oftentimes a part of a weight management system. But why is that? Well, we're talking amino acids, we're talking muscle building, of course, but protein. Do the research on your own. Don't necessarily trust me on this, but protein acts as it helps to manage our appetite very well. In fact, it's phenomenal, and so I love it for that reason alone. And the fiber as well. Fiber is not only, of course, we know we need fiber. Everyone knows we need fiber. It helps to cleanse us, right? I think so. That's kind of what we know and understand for the most part, and it does, absolutely does help to cleanse our system, which is very key. One thing that people may not take into account, and I want you to understand this very, very closely. Not only is it important for cleansing, keeping our systems clean, but also as an appetite management product as well. It works incredible. And there's entire programs out there based around just increasing our fiber intake, and usually through a supplement. And we have also soluble and non-soluble fiber in ours, and prebiotics as well. It's incredible. It's a remarkable product. You'll notice also in our cleanse tea and our protein and our fiber as well, we use stevia as a sweetener, which is key. For those listening, you may be thinking, oh, do I want it? There's a lot of products out there, especially protein supplements, a lot of them. Not only do they contain soy, which concerns a lot of people, leading with soy will instantly have a barrier go up, and we do not have soy in there. But also they contain artificial sweeteners. And so if you're seeing that out there, be cautious. Be cautious, especially if it's a health company saying, hey, this is our health beverage and it contains artificial sweeteners. Beware. That should be a flag that goes right up. We use stevia in ours, which is Mother Nature's all-natural plant, no-calorie plant. It's incredible. It's powerful, too. So powerful that we also added as an additional product, just stevia, that you can buy. You can sprinkle in your coffee or your tea, or maybe on some strawberries. I know that a lot of people love to have strawberries with a little bit of sugar. You know, sprinkle some stevia, no calories added. Cut your sugar intake. We all know that that's important as well. Very key. That's why we use stevia in our products, to help bring the sugar content down. We get enough sugar in our daily diets here in North America, don't we? I think we'll all agree. Wow. When you consider that at the turn of the 1900s, early 1900s, on average, somewhere between 5 to 7 pounds of sugar per person per year is what we were taking in, ingesting. Now, today, the studies, I've seen multiple studies, anywhere between 134 to 156 pounds per person per year. That's crazy. That is crazy. No wonder we have the weight management problem that we have. It's definitely a factor. And so we're doing our part with the education and also with the products to help lower that amount of sugar that we're intaking in our daily diets, in our daily programs, especially Faveo. Faveo is very concerned about that, and you will find that as you go through the program. Not enough time to go through all the details tonight. This is to kind of overview, give you some information, and then you can ask the person who invited you on the call, or get with your upline, or whoever you're comfortable with, to start asking more detailed questions. But that's very important to make note about, because out there, when you're comparing, very important. Now, the fourth product that we have is the metabolic product. Love this, Faveo Metabolic. We started with 2 ingredients. The 2 ingredients, it's an Indian flower and also the mangosteen extract. So we're taking that mangosteen again. We were able to come up with an extract of the mangosteen. These 2 combined showed studies with a calorie-restricted diet of at least 2,000 calories. Interestingly, they didn't say what the calories were, just a restricted diet to 2,000, which is an amazing feat for a lot of us in North America to begin with. When you look at what we're eating on a daily basis, crazy. By the way, if you want to have a little fun and you happen to have an iPhone, get one of those calorie counting apps. Holy macro, that is amazing. You start going into the fast food chains and just any type of restaurant. A lot of them will be listed in there. It will tell you what is available. What you're eating, what the calorie, the fats are. Holy macro, it'll blow your mind. You'll realize, again, one of the contributing factors of why we have such a challenge, really an epidemic in our nation. But so people would have a calorie-restricted diet of 2,000 calories, they were walking 30 minutes a day. I think it was 3 to 5 days a week. And on average, with these two studies, there was a 10 to 11 pounds of weight loss on average with the group, the two different studies, which is significant over a 12-week period of time, which is quite significant. So we take this now and we added to it chromium, which is something that most people were very aware of, and it's in other weight management products. It helps to manage blood sugar levels, which is very important to help us manage our appetites. And then cinnamon. Cinnamon is considered a metabolic herb, actually, and not only a metabolic herb, but help to manage our appetites very, very well. Little tip: you wanna sprinkle a little cinnamon on your oatmeal in the morning. Whoa, bada bing, bada boom. That one's going to really help you with appetite. It's amazing. Works amazing. We put that in there, and this formulation works so incredibly. You take this in the mid-morning or right after breakfast, and then mid-afternoon or after lunch. I usually take it after lunch and after breakfast just for ease of, and oh my goodness, does it ever work? It's incredible. I can't wait for you to try it if you haven't tried it already. So there's our main 4 products. Of course, I mentioned the stevia as well to help us manage our intake of sugar. And then I think you wanted me to talk about Limitless. Limitless was a product that we just barely came out with last week, in fact, and it's just blowing through our forecast. It is such an incredible product. My partners and I were a little bit tired of the energy industry out there is so big, incredible. It is growing. It's one of the only in the retail sector just growing like crazy. And it's something that concerns us, frankly, the massive amounts of sugar that are in these. And if it's not sugar, it's artificial sweeteners. And then the mixtures, the high intensity of just pure caffeine, straight caffeine, not anti-caffeine, just anti a bit too much. I think we've just gone a little bit overboard, and I think that very few will disagree with me on that statement when it comes to the energy drink industry. So what we decided to do was we want to bring a natural alternative, something that we feel comfortable with, bring into the marketplace. There's definitely a need, and we decided to do it the Faveo way. We put something that I really feel strongly about. Panax ginseng is there's multiple different types of ginseng. You've got Korean ginseng, which is Panax ginseng. You got Siberian ginseng, Chinese ginseng. You've got American ginseng, different ginsengs from all around the world. I've always felt very strongly about Panax ginseng. I've used ginseng my whole life. We grew up with nutritional industry, and so it was just something that we had seen our whole lives growing up. But I remember this one time, folks, oh my gosh, I was in Korea, was there on business. It was years ago, probably 16 years ago. And I had a Korean ginseng tea, a couple of them at night, just in the evening. I don't think I slept one wink that whole night. Just my mind was so active. I remember feeling so clear in my mind, and ever since then I've been very big fan of Panax ginseng, Korean ginseng. We've got also green tea in there as the natural form. So this is a green tea extract. We did not want to just add straight caffeine in there. We wanted to bring it the way Mother Nature has brought it to the world through a fantastic, the buffering of just having it naturally found in green tea. And so you've also got the rich catechins that are found in there as well, and that antioxidant powerhouse of the green tea, plus again, Mother Nature's buffered green caffeine being brought to you. We also have in there GABA. GABA is incredible. It is a neurotransmitter, a chemical used by the human nervous system, which acts. It works with our nerves. It helps calm down. Interestingly, you might think, why would you put something that helps calm nerves in there? But what it does is it actually, because it acts as a neurotransmitter, the people will feel a sense of their thinking improving, clarity of mind coming from it. Remarkable. I just love this ingredient in there, and people, it's been used with anti-anxiety and improving moods, and very, very pleasant experience using GABA. And so we've definitely added that in there. We've got Gotcha Cola, okay, is one of the ingredients. This is one that you've probably not heard of for a very long time. It's something that our parents used to give us growing up. We used to have it. It was kind of a mainstay in our house. It's considered a brain food, awakening the brain. And my dad used to have this fun little saying. You know, it was more of just folklore and kind of for fun, but that it apparently grows in the rivers of Africa, and elephants never forget because they eat Gotcha Cola. You know, of course, it's just kind of a fun little antidote. But in any event, it's a great brain food, and used for hundreds and hundreds of years, and part of Ayurvedic medicine in India and Chinese traditional medicine in Indonesia, all over. So love this ingredient. We also have coconut water in there. Coconut water is really, it's Mother Nature's best electrolyte replacement. It's incredible. So this is a powerful product, and I highly recommend that you research it, ask questions further about this. It's recently come to the marketplace, but the testimonials are incredible. We call it Limitless because as we were testing it, Aaron and I particularly were having fun. We'd like, here, try this, and we pass it around and get people to do tests around the office, and we just started naturally calling it Limitless because we felt like just this feeling of energy, but also clarity of mind and focus, an incredible focus. And so we would call it Limitless. And it's not a product that any person ever felt like a crash coming from it, which was key, very key. As you know, anyone who drinks regularly energy drinks, you'll know that it tends to be a sugar rush, caffeine rush, and then there's a crash very soon afterwards. So it's a constant treadmill experience where you up and down, up and down, up and down. And so, wow, the stories that are coming back are incredible. Sandy, did you want to share any of those right now? Do you have anyone that has had it? Have you even tried? It's so new. I'm wondering if anyone's even had a chance to really experience it yet.
Yeah, I can share with you what happened to me. Eddie and I were in Phoenix, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, to do a very large trade show, like 25,000 women, a biggie.
Wow.
And if anybody's ever walked a trade show or done a trade show, it's pretty grueling, especially when you're an exhibitor and you're on your feet for 2.5 solid days. And when it was time to leave Sunday evening and pack up, we had to come right back because we had another event to do in Vegas the next morning. And I was exhausted. I mean, I was toasted. And we had something to eat. And at dinner, Eddie said, I actually had to borrow some Limitless from Eileen Cohen because my order hadn't arrived yet. And she gave me a jar, and at dinner, Eddie said, let's take a shot because he was exhausted because his job over the weekend was to babysit the husbands, which could be very, very intense. So he had to make sure they played golf and went to the racetrack and the casino while we girls were working. Tough life, my husband, right? So anyway, Eddie was also tired. So we took just one scoop of the Limitless, and then we got in the car. And just to give you a little bit of history, Eddie and I will be married 51 years, so more years than your old Joe.
Congratulations. Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
This year he gets a medal. But I have a problem when I'm in a vehicle that's moving. It could be a train, it could be a plane, it could be a car. If there's any distance more than, maybe 45 minutes to an hour, I fall asleep. And if it's dark, it's even more compelling for me to close my eyes and just fall asleep. Well, I can tell you the entire 5.5-hour drive at night back from Phoenix to Vegas, I was alert, I was sharp, I worked 5 hours on my computer, and Ed will tell his story a little bit later on the call, how he dealt with driving being so exhausted. So, and what I was surprised, Joe, to find that, there was no buzz. There was my heart wasn't racing out of my chest. There wasn't a rush like from some things I've taken in the past that were so negative as far as making me feel high and then low again. I mean, this was smooth. I just felt like my eyes were wide open, and I could have gone on. In fact, when we got home, it was 2 in the morning. I could have worked another hour or two, but I was looking at the clock saying, I've got to get up early in the morning. So when I got into bed, I fell right asleep. I had expected to be up because that's what my experience in the past had been. When you take something like this energy and you want to come down and go to sleep, it doesn't let you. So I think it's incredible, and I'm hoping you're going to be considering doing samples for us because people will notice a difference in 10 minutes. Just absolutely amazing.
It's about the standard is 10, 15 minutes. People feel an impact. It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you as an athlete, my goodness, that I understand. But some of us, who are just weekend warriors, or maybe want to clean the house and give us the ability to stay alert and focused and full of energy in a healthy way. I mean, that's what to me is the most important. And of course, I'm a diabetic, so I was very concerned about the sugar content, and my blood sugars are fine with it. So very, very excited, and thank you. And maybe you can give everybody a little peek at what's coming with Pro, because that's also coming very, very soon as an addition to the product line, correct?
Yes, absolutely. It's a part of the Faveo Pro line, so Limitless is a part of it, and there's going to be a recovery drink. And oh boy, do I ever like this one. This one's incredible. It tastes really good too, and it is basically a recovery drink. We're concerned. We do a lot of workouts as partners in this company. We're encouraging people to become active. What is active? It's different for every person. Whether you're out golfing, whether you're out playing tennis, whether you're running or biking or swimming or whatever it may be, a lot of people are reaching for electrolyte replacements, but a lot of them are just chucked full of sugar, really, and corn syrup, which is even worse, and artificial colors and flavors. And we're worried about that, frankly. So we want to offer, again, another very healthy solution. So it's more of a post-workout, but I mean, a lot of these electrolyte replacements started as workouts, and people drink them as recreational drinks, which is concerning in and of itself. But to be drinking that kind of artificial flavors and colors and high fructose corn syrup, just as a recreational drink. But this is going to have coconut water as a base. Again, Mother Nature's great electrolyte replacement, very high in potassium and sodium, wonderful mix. So one actually that I'm going to as my, I do, as you mentioned, I do Ironmans and long distance running and biking, and once you're out there for 3, 4, 5 hours, you've got to figure out how to replace your electrolytes. And I'm using coconut water a lot, and can't wait for this one to come out. But branched chain amino acids, if you're talking anyone who's doing a lot of workouts, you'll know that that's very important to help repair muscle and build muscle. Glutamine, and so this is an incredible incredible product. And I can't wait for it to come out. Just can't wait. All I've got right now is some samples, Sandy, and it's driving me nuts. I don't have enough of it. It's great.
Well, awesome, Joe. Thank you so much.
Bring it over to Holly. There you go.
We could definitely talk on this all night long, but I'll tell you what, for those of you who are listening, this is a guest call trying to give you enough information, which I think Joe did an excellent job at in making you want to try this. And I just want to add my own testimony that when I heard Joe talk about this product for the first time, I'm not a gym rat. I don't work out. My brain didn't even think for a minute it wasn't for me. Because as I heard him describe those ingredients as he just did, I realized, wow, I want Limitless. And I got my sample and opened it up, and within 10 minutes, I felt amazing. It's like every sensory in my body, my hearing, my sight, my feelings, in my brain, just all seem to work better. And it's just kind of amazing. You absolutely have to try it, and it's life-changing. And I'm really excited about the other products that are being launched in the XANGO Pro line. We definitely have a full program here. We definitely have a program for people who are just trying to truly be healthy, to reset their lifestyle and their health in every sense of the word. Gain weight if you need to gain it, lose it if you need to lose it, but most importantly, to be the meanest, leanest, fittest, strongest, healthiest, energetic person functioning in the most optimal way that you can, and that's what we have for you, folks. XANGO has launched XANGO and XANGO Pro. It is a limitless opportunity to experience all that life has to offer. So please get back to the person who invited you to this webinar. Ask them how you can get some Limitless. Sign up as a customer, a preferred customer, a distributor. There's a whole world waiting for you to experience, so we certainly want you to do that. And if you want to know more now, ask the person who invited you to this webinar about how you can get a training webinar. We're actually going to do a training on XANGO Limitless, and you'll be able to hear even more details and more testimonies from lots of people who will be joining us. So we look forward to hearing you or sharing with you on that call. And again, just get back to the person who invited you and have an incredible day. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Sandy. And thank you, XANGO.
Thank you.